Hey, what's up, everybody? I just got done fishing, doing a fishing video, and I wanted to pass through here because I'm very close to the Uptown Theater in Grand Prairie. See the Uptown Theater there. I want to talk to you about a special event. Well, I wouldn't say event, but something life-changing that happened to me here many years ago. Some of y'all know I was a professional hip-hop breakdancer, and I used to tour all over the U.S., and I was on a couple of TV shows and won tons of contests and stuff like that, and got to dance with some really awesome people. I met some awesome celebrities. I used to tour with some of the big rap groups when they came around the area and further down south and west of here. But anyway, I want to tell you a story that happened. So I was making a lot of money. I was getting real popular. And this was before YouTube and Facebook and all that. I was getting real popular with my dancing and stuff. Got a few sponsors. So my head got really big, and I was only like 8 or 9 years old, 10 maybe. And my mom would make me practice at least 6 to 8 hours a day in the garage. It didn't matter if it was hot or ice cold. I went out there and practiced, because she used to always tell me, hey, you don't ever want to go and come back home as a loser. You want to win all your contests and stuff like that. But I got a big head. I was sponsored. I was no longer part of a group. I was solo. So I used to tell her, I don't have to practice anymore. I don't got to practice anymore. I'm that good. I'm too good. And so I got a really big head, and just because all this stuff was happening to me, making a lot of money. And a tournament was coming up, a big breakdance tournament, and people from all over the U.S. were coming to this, and it was going to be held here at the Uptown Theater. So I entered, and I had like 3 weeks to get ready to practice. And my mom would tell me every day, hey, make sure you practice. Have you been practicing? I don't need to practice. I'm good already. I just show up and win and go home. That's about it. So I was getting a big head, and my mom kept telling me to practice, and I wouldn't do it. I kept saying, I'm too good already. I don't need to practice, blah, blah, blah. The date came. I wasn't ready. I didn't have no songs ready to dance to. Everywhere that I went, they've always had a DJ, and we would just tell the DJ what song we would want to dance to, and he'd put it on. But this wasn't like that. So I was really messed up. So when they asked for my song, I said, I don't have one. Well, they had like a few records, and it was totally nothing that I would ever dance to. So yeah, it turned out to be a disaster. I ended up losing. The first time in a long time, I lost this contest, and it was like a $600 prize, and back in the 80s, that's like $1,000, and actually more, probably like $3,000 or $6,000, So I was really upset. I rode all the way home. I knock on the door, my mom answers. She's like, well, did you win? I said, no, I lost. She said, I told you. You're going to come home a loser if you didn't practice. And that's what I did. I came home a loser. So for many, many years after that, it bothered me. And I got into other things. I got into BMX, freestyle trick riding, and boxing, and music. And I got into all that stuff. But this one thing just always bothered me. So finally, back in 2002, I started wanting to be a filmmaker. So I kept, again, back to what my mom taught me was to practice. I would always practice and learn camera angles and just the whole art of filmmaking. From 2002 to 2010, it wasn't until 2010 that I made my first short film. I was working at a job that I didn't like, and I just decided, hey, it's burning inside me. The artistic was burning inside me, and I just went over there and I quit. It was a really, really good job. I was making a lot of money. And I just quit. I didn't want to do it anymore. So I'm going to go be a filmmaker. And that's what I did. And that was in May of 2010. At the end of May, I shot my first movie. I didn't know what I was doing really. It was just, even though I practice and, you know, your first film is always like, you know, are you doing things right? You know, it's just so many questions I had. I was doubting myself. I didn't have no script or anything. We just rode around in the car with my actors and found a spot and film and then take off and go. Kept doing that over and over until the film was done, you know. We scored it. And then all of a sudden, my mom gives me this newspaper and it says, Grand Prairie has a film festival, October of that year. I think it was October 9th, I believe it. October 9th, I still remember it. I said, wow, I'm gonna put my film in there and see if I can, you know, see if I can win. And it was like, because of what happened before with, you know, the dancing and stuff, I had all kinds of doubts and all kinds of flashbacks and stuff like that. And it was crazy. I was just, I'm gonna lose and I'm not gonna do any good or anything, like whatever, just all kinds of stuff running through my mind. But we're sitting there watching the film and, you know, I entered it and got accepted. And that was the first that was the first obstacle, getting accepted. I got accepted. Okay, oh, wow, all right. I was happy. The date came, nervous as hell. Went in there, everybody sat down. There was tons of people in there. I mean, every seat was filled. And I just happened to be sitting in the middle with my family. And that was the wrong thing for me to do. I don't like people, you know, to begin with, you know, crowded people, you know, just a crowd of people, you know. So once my film started playing, I was like, oh man, I was just so nervous. And then as I got toward the end, you know, people were crying and stuff. And I thought people were crying because they didn't like my film. I didn't know nothing about film festivals or anything. I'm like, oh my God, how do I get out of here, you know, without being seen? Well, the film was over. Everybody gave me a standing ovation. I was like, oh wow. I was just so amazed, you know. The audience loved it. Standing ovation. They were asking me a lot of questions in the Q&A. They kind of didn't really ask the other filmmakers any questions. They were all asking me about my inspirations and how I came up with this. And, you know, and it goes all back to, again, what my mother taught me. Just practice. If you love something, practice and get good at it. You know, you'll never be perfect. Always try to be perfect, but you'll never be perfect. That's what she used to tell me. So the award ceremony came, and yeah, that was like nerve-wracking. I was just so nervous. And my category came up, and I won. I won 2 awards, Best Film and People's Choice. And, you know, it meant so much to me. Not even, you know, because I won, it's because it was redemption from that first incident, you know, with breakdancing. So it was redemption, 100%. And man, from that point on, I never looked back. I just kept on going and winning more awards and more awards, because it's something that my mother instilled in me too. She would always tell me, you know, go out there and be good at everything you do. You know, you only got one life, and she used to tell me that. But anyway, yeah, I redeemed myself. So don't ever give up. If you fail at something, and we all make mistakes, you know, we think we're too good or we think we're not good enough, you know, so it's one of those things. So just keep on making mistakes and keep on getting better, and you'll see, it'll happen, you know. But anyway, I thought that was a cool story. I was in town and I saw the Uptown, and I thought I'd pull over and tell the story. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed it. Hope it inspires you to do something. Go out there and be incredible. You can do it. Everybody has it in them. All right. And please take care of each other, because we are all we got. All right. Much love. Peace.